Okay, we're going to do a little video here. I'll do a little bit of paper slides, um, give you an idea of what you're going to be working on today, and also give you an example of a rock cycle model that you could maybe use some of these ideas for your own rock cycle model to achieve level 3. So first, let's take a look at the learning target. It's to develop a model to describe the cycling of Earth's materials and the flow of energy that drives this process. Um, so basically, a model that shows the rock cycle and the flow of energy. Now, today in class, you guys are going to be completing this exit slip. So let's preview it. What are the three types of rocks? How are sedimentary rocks formed? That's multiple choice. How are metamorphic rocks formed? How are igneous rocks formed? All three multiple choice. And then explain how gravity drives the rock cycle, explain how the Earth's internal heat drives the rock cycle, and explain how the sun's heat drives the rock cycle. And for those, you'll have to give probably like 2 or 3 sentence explanations for those questions. Okay? All right, so let's do a little paper slides here. First off, we all know there's 3 types of rocks. 3 types of rocks are sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic. It's going to take me a minute to get the paper slides just right. So you should know that. We worked on that last week, and I think you guys knew it from 4th grade. Now the next thing is how are rocks formed and changed. So each type of rock is formed and changed in different ways. Sedimentary rocks are formed from weathering, erosion, deposition, and cementation. Igneous rocks in the middle are formed from melting and then solidification or crystallization. And metamorphic rocks are formed from heat and pressure. Okay? Now, the rocks can go in a couple different directions. So a sedimentary rock down here could then melt or go through heat and pressure. It could melt and become an igneous rock eventually, or that sedimentary rock could go to heat and pressure and become a metamorphic rock. Same thing with an igneous rock. An igneous rock could go through weathering and erosion and deposition and cementation to become sedimentary, or an igneous rock could go through heat and pressure and become metamorphic. Metamorphic rock could go through melting and solidification and become igneous. A metamorphic rock could go through weathering, erosion, deposition, cementation and become sedimentary rock. All right, so it can go in a couple different ways. But in order to become sedimentary, it has to weather, erosion, deposition, cementation. In order to become igneous, it has to go through melting, solidification, crystallization. In order to become metamorphic, it has to go through heat and pressure. Okay, and then they can kind of change to other forms as well. Now, how are the 3 types of energy that are part of this? First off, we've got the sun's heat. And how does the sun's heat drive the rock cycle? Well, the sun's heat, it could cause weathering. It could cause erosion. And then also, if lava comes out of the earth and it cools in water or cools in the air, the sun's heat could cause solidification. All right, so that's 3 ways that the sun's heat can move the rock cycle. How does gravity? Gravity is another force involved in the rock cycle. So gravity, you can see a lot of purple arrows coming out of gravity because gravity has a big effect on the rock cycle. Gravity could cause weathering when rocks fall and break. Weathering could cause erosion when rocks are being carried down a river or falling down a cliff. Whenever rocks are moving because of gravity, that's erosion. Deposition, when rocks get deposited somewhere, that's because of gravity. And cementation, when rocks get kind of packed together in the bottom of a riverbed or a pond or something, that cementation is caused by gravity. Gravity can also cause rocks to sink into the earth and melt. Gravity could also cause rocks to rise up a little bit when they're underground and crystallize. And then the pressure part of heat and pressure is caused by gravity. So gravity can have a big effect on the rock cycle. The last one is Earth's internal heat, and you see a number of arrows coming out to show how Earth's internal heat can be part of the rock cycle. So Earth's internal heat could cause cementation. Earth's internal heat could cause rocks to melt and then solidify and crystallize. If it's a little bit less hot, then the rocks will solidify or crystallize. And then the heat part of metamorphic rocks, that heat is caused by the Earth's internal heat. Okay. Now, if I put all those arrows together on one diagram, there's a lot of arrows, and you can see some arrows, like for example, the sun's heat and gravity both cause weathering. Internal heat and gravity both cause melting. Internal heat and gravity cause solidification and crystallization. So there's some combinations of these things. It's not always just one force causes one part of the rock cycle. There's a combination of all these forces causing the rock cycle. Okay. All right, so hopefully that's enough info for you guys to complete the exit slip. You should be doing it individually. Take your time, make sure you do a good job. The exit slip will be in Google Classroom. If you need to go back and watch some of this video, that's helpful too.